All right. So far we've talked about what a personal brand is, the benefits of it, why we choose to talk about ourselves as a brand rather than the corporate name of the brand that maybe we represent as a direct sales person. Now I think it's time that we talk about the nuts and bolts of how do we establish a personal brand? What practical things do we need to do? We're covering that plus some philosophical things as well. Welcome back. This is our third video in our series on personal branding. I'm Michelle Fox, founder of Boss Babes Online. And today we're going to finally break things down. If you're like me, I want to know, what do I need to do? I don't want any more talk about the philosophy behind it. Let me know, what do I need to do to make this happen? And one of the very first things that you need to do once you've been convinced that you do indeed want to create your own personal brand is to spend some time establishing what's called a personal brand statement. It's similar to a business statement or a mission statement, and it's going to go something like this: I help blank. What group of people do you help? Do blank. Like, what exactly are you helping them do? What are you helping them become? What are you helping them avoid, with whatever positive things or without whatever negative things? So I help new moms um, find time for themselves without feeling guilty because they're not with their children. Okay. So it's like, who are you? Who do you serve? What are you offering? And then what pain points are you addressing? So young moms feel the need to have alone time, but then they also feel conflicted because they feel guilty because they should be with their kids. So we're addressing that need. So for me, I help mature women understand the changing needs of their skin and make adjustments to their makeup so they can be their beautiful best at every age. That's my personal branding statement. So, me, I am helping mature women. What am I helping them with? Their skincare and their makeup. What is the pain point? What is the pro or the con? I'm helping them feel beautiful at every age, so that it's not just something within a certain age category or time frame. So there are lots of formulas for this, and we're going to cover a lot today. So I don't want to spend too much time on each point. So if you just say, how can I construct my personal brand statement? You will find different gurus have their own ways, fill in the blank. And I've got a couple myself. I'll get to that later. So you've got your personal brand statement. Part of that, number two, is figuring out your target audience. Who are you speaking to? And it's more than just, well, I sell makeup, so I'm speaking to women. You need to be more specific than that, and it will help you on so many levels. The more you understand your audience, the more you can tailor everything that you do, your posts, your colors, the things that you talk about, the advice that you give, the videos that you offer. So if, let's say, for example, I am a recent widow, and yes, I sell makeup, but I really connect with other widows. I connect with them on, so many levels. I know what questions they're asking. I know how they feel emotionally. And so that could actually factor into who my audience is, my target audience, believe it or not. There are very interesting combinations. If you look on YouTube or podcasts, various podcasts, for example, my housekeeper listens to someone who is a combination. I, I think she gives recipes, but then she also solves true crime. So, like, as throughout the podcast, there's a recipe that's featured, but then she's also discussing like a true crime situation. So find your, combination, the thing that is unique about you that is going to resonate with a certain group of people. And that is finding your niche audience, finding your target audience. Another expression is called your ideal customer avatar. So you can Google any of those and you'll find more information. I actually have a handout on that, 50 questions to discover your ideal customer avatar. The third one is to choose your platforms. So I've decided I want to establish a personal brand. I'm coming on, social media. I really want to establish a presence. I want people to see that I'm making a change. I want there to be a notable change. All right. Well, let's pick two social platforms. And the two that you should pick are the two that your audience are on. Okay. So if you are working with young people like 16 to 25, then I would say TikTok and Instagram. If you're working with people that are retirement age, then probably Facebook, maybe YouTube. So you want to think about who you're talking to, who your audience is. And if you don't know what type of social media they're on, you can research that. But if your audience is a reflection of yourself, which it usually is, what are the two social media platforms that you are on? Okay. Or that you were on before you got into business? What were the two that you gravitated toward? And those are the two that you really want to focus on. But we're not done. Okay. We're just choosing those two because now the next point is we want to create a content strategy. And there's tons of information about content strategies. You can get content calendars and you can use AI, Chat GPT to help you with that. But the idea behind it is that you need to be proactive, where you have a plan of when you're going to post, what you're going to post. It needs to be a nice combination of things about you, your personal life, and your business, but it can't be too heavy on the business side. And you'll also hear people, influencers, talk about the four pillars that think about the four things that you really want to kind of rotate your topics on. So, some common ones would be family, faith. Okay, let's see, family, faith, maybe some has to be something about business, family, faith, business, and then maybe hobbies or something like that, or quotes, positive quotes. So you'll come up with different things and then you'll kind of rotate those topics in your Instagram posts. Your Instagram posts, if that was one of your platforms, could also be posted the exact same thing on your Facebook business page and your personal profile. You'll start to learn how to multitask, how to double dip. You'll create a calendar and know when you're going to post. And so let's say Mondays, you always post something about your family. Tuesdays, you post something that's inspirational, et cetera, et cetera. When you have that strategy in place and you hold yourself accountable to start posting consistently, and to remember that you are posting not about you, not about your products and your prices and all that, but you are posting in order to resonate, to speak to make a connection with your audience. And that is the beginning of everything. Okay, because what we are trying to accomplish is that we are trying to build relationships online, and it starts with them seeing things online that you've posted that resonate with them any way at all. Where they think it's funny, they think it's clever, they think it's shocking, or they find it helpful, they find it what have you. But as they keep, you keep popping up in their feed, and every time what you post, somehow it fills something in their life. Not only are you funny, but you're also very helpful. And oh my gosh, you've got such cute dogs. And oh wow, then you find out that you are an empty nester, and so is someone in your audience is an empty nester, so they can really relate to you. These are the things that build relationships with your viewers. And just like we need to build relationships in person in order to have a solid customer base, we need to build relationships online, on the internet, on social media. But what's really cool is we can be building relationships with anybody in the whole world. So think of that. That is like so amazing. So we're using a content strategy, we're building relationships. We also have to optimize our profiles. So in the past, our profile, we could stick up any old picture on there and, it was just like our name and our birthday, whatever. Now our profile represents us as a professional. So we want to get some professional headshots. We want to know how to best use the amount of letters or how many words that we can use in each bio. So in other words, if Instagram is giving you 70 letters to describe yourself or to say something, you don't want to just say dog mom. You want to use all those letters, like to strategically set yourself up as a business professional. And there are ways to do that. On Facebook, there are tons of amazing things for free that you can put on your Facebook profile and on your business page and even in your group, that you can offer freebies. You can have your website link. You can have all of your social media handles. You can, in your bio, say a little blurb about yourself, but you can also just put a paragraph that sends them to your YouTube channel, or just ask them to check out your Instagram, profile. What is that called? Your Instagram, whatever. So you want to optimize that. You want to use keywords. You want to, evaluate every aspect of what's going on every profile and make sure that you are using everything to your advantage. And there are specific strategies for that. And I will come back to that because I've got some really good training on that. You also want to be showing your expertise. We've talked about that as a benefit of being of personal branding, but it is also part of personal branding is that you show your expertise. So if I show up and every Tuesday I do a tip Tuesday, and people that stumble across it find those tips helpful, and they are hearing things that they didn't know, in their mind I'm an expert. And then when they perhaps look me up and go to my blog or my website and they see that I have other tutorials or other handouts or freebies or free resources, click here to go to whatever. Or maybe I'll have a list of suggested or recommended products or recommended gurus to, look up. That sets me up as someone who knows what she's talking about. And that doesn't just happen. I have to choose to do that. I have to consistently show up and offer the things that I know. And if you feel like, well, I don't know anything, then you need to learn. Okay. And it doesn't mean that you have to spend years learning and then do this. It means that you can literally listen to a podcast, process it, turn on your camera, and do a video on that exact information in your own words, and you are teaching people and you are an expert. Okay. There, it is not an excuse to say that you don't know enough. We have information at our fingertips at all times. So we can fix that very, very, very easily. And the last thing, but really to me is a big one, is the visual element of personal branding. And that's something that I really get into and I really enjoy. But that is when you say, okay, so what are my colors? What are my fonts? What kind of tagline do I want on my banner? And you actually have what's called a favicon, which is the little logo that appears when people have your website open up in their tab browser. Those are things that, and I mentioned it in the first video, can people find you readily when they go from different social media platforms? People can find me because I consistently use the same, Michelle Fox Beauty, and I use similar colors. I'm kind of evolving, but I use similar colors, similar fonts, and so they can find me and know that's I'm the one, that's the right Michelle Fox. And in the same way, it's really cool when you take time to think about, well, what logo, what symbol, what configuration, make would express what I'm all about. And it really also makes you dig deep and think about, what do you want to project? Do you want to project an image that is, strong and powerful and tough, or do you want to something that's like really soft and easygoing and, maybe maternal, or something that's childlike? Do you want happy and joyful and, bright? There are so many different things, and it can be overwhelming, but it can also be a lot of fun, and it can give you a lot of insight into what you're all about. So it's just a very good process all the way around. And that is the thing that people notice. I can almost guarantee that when you make a concerted effort to, in one fell swoop, change all of your social media so that they all have the same colors and the same logo, and that there's some sense of similarity, people will take notice and be like, wow, you've really, gone up in the world. You've really accomplished a lot. Things must really be happening for you. There are certain things that when people observe them, they associate that, they equate that with success. One of them is when you do videos, all right, which is why I'm a big fan of you doing videos. But another one is when you start having some good looking branding, when you have some good looking um, icons and graphics. Okay. So, and that is very doable, and you don't have to pay for it. You can do it yourself on canva.com. You can hire it out. Something called Fiverr, Fiverr.com, is very affordable, that you have others do it for you. But really, there's no reason why you can't do it yourself on Canva, in my opinion. And all of this is discussed and broken down, and you're held by the hand, and kind of, I help you go through each of these in a course that I put together last year. It's called the 5-Day Transformation. I did it live May, June, and July. And then there was still more interest. And so I thought, you know what, I'm going to put it together as a video series. And so I did. So it is a 5 video series. It also has a workbook, and there's a online, place where you can go and have all of that and see your progress. And there's also a private Facebook group where you can ask me for suggestions, where you can get feedback from the other members. So it's a very good resource if you are just starting out in personal branding and don't know anything about it. That would be a great place to start. I am in the process of putting together sort of the mother lode of all personal branding courses. I am just starting. I'm thinking about what I'm going to call it. I want it to be something like, Boss Babe Branding Academy or something like that. I'm working on it. But so stay tuned for that, because there will be something a little more thorough, and that will be a little lengthier, but that's coming up down the pike. So if you want something now, I would suggest the 5-Day Transformation. I've had very, very good feedback. At least 100 people have gone through it. I think that you would really get a lot out of it. So that is what I would suggest for you to begin your personal branding journey. And I appreciate you so much for paying attention and for being a part of this series. Next time, let's see, we are talking about what exactly is attraction marketing? What are some attraction marketing tactics? And I think that you will really, really enjoy that, because the whole idea is where you are setting things up so that your customer comes to you rather than you having to chase them. It's awesome. So if you got anything out of this, please give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend, and by all means, I would certainly hope that you would subscribe to Boss Babes Online and encourage your friends to do so as well, because we are on a mission to get to 1,000 subscribers. Big things happen when you hit 1,000. So that's a goal that you can set for yourself as well. Start a YouTube channel, get to 1,000 subscribers as quick as you can, and I will see you next time.